up, everyone? Welcome to another vlog with me, Kiki. Thank you for clicking on and checking me out and being very supportive. Like I think I said in the previous video, I wanted to start sharing my life experiences and some of the things I've learned with you guys. And I try not to make it too sad and too depressing, but I'm just sharing my story. This is my testimony, and hopefully you guys can take something from it and use it to improve your life. Or I guess I'll say this: some people may take what I share and gossip and build their ego with it. Whatever you decide to do, it's between you and the divine. All right, so now that that's out the way, I do want to say that I guess what I'm going to focus on with my talk and my chat tonight, I'm going to focus on karma. So let me start with karma. As far back as I can remember, I never had to get beatings or what the country people say whippings for something or the same behavior more than once. I'll just put it that way. So meaning that if I got a whooping for not doing my homework, I'm going to make sure that I don't get another whooping. Or if I got a whooping for being noisy during nap time and interrupting my family member TV time, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be in the bed and I'm going to just try to count myself to sleep. So with that being said, I think that I have a part of some type of spiritual connection that was probably dormant in me. And I guess it just eventually got activated when I got older. Actually, when I went through just too much of a traumatic event. Like I went through some things in my life, some traumas, some dramas. But I think, when you get to a certain age, you be like, damn, it kind of hits hard, but you still got to find that inner strength to kind of push through it. And so I'm going to tell you a few stories, a few things that I've witnessed. And I want you to take it not as me trying to brag, because I feel like my ego, I guess it's to a certain point to where I don't have to do that. I don't have to brag and try to get validation from anyone. But what I will say is, now that I know what I know about spirituality and religion, I'll just go with karma, okay? And I believe that's a term that's highly used in the Indian culture. And when it comes to cultures, I feel like I can learn from everyone, even the Europeans, even Caucasians. So, and honestly, they have a lot of our history and our information in their museums. So they know a little bit more about us than we even know about ourselves. So with that being said, with karma, I feel like it's tied to energy. There's good karma, which is the positive energy, and then there's, I believe they call it dharma, or negative karma, which is, when you have to learn a lesson and it beat your ass to teach you that lesson. So, and let me tell you why I feel like that's more relatable to me than saying that, okay, somebody is fighting with spiritual demons. I mean, it may be something out there, but all my life I haven't seen a physical demon. Like, I've seen someone portray really bad behavior, but if you really look it up, um, and the etymology of devil and stuff like that, you'll see it's just a lower version or a sinful type of person, and they just need to get their shit together. And that's how I see it. So let me tell you what I've seen with KaRmA. And even with myself, I have see I'm not gonna count my ass whoopings because I know I used to be very feisty, and if my cousins or somebody would come at me slick mouth, I ain't all about that yappity yappity yap. And sometimes I can't control my hands, and I gotta just shut them up with my hands. And I wasn't very evil and very violent. Actually, I wasn't even a troublemaker. But I know when somebody brought trouble my way, I was like, hey, what's up? I'm ready. I'm ready. But other than that, it's like I prefer to be peaceful with everybody. It's just some people get on your nerve or get on my nerve so much to where they try to bring out the ugly in you. And we're all full of the good and the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the holy, the sinful. It's just in all of us. And ain't no one in this world that's perfect. Also, I've heard even, some people say, well, Jesus Christ is perfect. Well, if you research the books that were removed from King James Bible, you will see that he did get into some stuff. Now, I haven't had a chance to fully do more reading and research.
New text message from Lily Malmu.
But anyway, I do know he wasn't all so perfect either. So like I said, we were all born with the good and the evil polarity, duality. So let me go back. I guess I'll say in my 20s, I had a few haters on my job. I didn't really have to say much. I just existed. That's what it feels like to me. They ain't give me no chance to steal from them. I ain't mess with nobody, man. I ain't get a chance to cuss nobody out. These girls, they just hated me for some odd reason. And come to find out, my manager pulls me in the office and he tells me, hey, there's some rumors or something going around about you stealing out of the store or trying to hook your family members and friends up with some merchandise. And, we're doing even investigation on it. And so I'm like, so if I'm stealing out the store, I didn't have transportation at the time. Where I'm gonna take this? How I'm gonna carry the stuff out the store? Now, if I'm gonna take something, it's gonna be well over $200 if that was me. But anyway, I said, okay, well, fine. You can research. And I said, well, may I ask, who could be spreading these rumors? Who could be out to get me or whatever? And he didn't really want to give me the names because he didn't want to cause any issues. But I kind of already knew just by the dirty looks that I used to get and the little, indirect, slick, sassy comments. So the same girl that accused me of stealing out the store, I come into work the next day. The police surrounded the front door. They stand around the office door and they pull her out and she got handcuffs on. And I'm like, what the fuck going on up in here? And come to find out, she was the one hooking up family members up and stealing merchandise out of the store. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she stole well over 10 grand. She hooked her people up. I don't know how she was able to get away with it so long, but you know how they do. They watch you long enough to let it pile up so it'll be hard for you to get yourself out of it real quick. And to me, I feel like that was KaRmA because she would follow me throughout the store. She would try to, just provoke me into wanting to go toe-to-toe with her. And I was just trying to keep it cordial. I'm like, I got bills to pay. I don't got time to be sitting around arguing with you over something that I don't even know what I did. So that's one little story I would say that KaRmA do kick in. So, and there's a lot of stories, but I'm going to just tell you the ones that really stand out, okay? So from my understanding, I don't know if I didn't really see it, but this is what I've heard. This guy, he was high on cocaine. He managed to come into my mom's house apartment and start, pointing the gun, loaded gun, at me and my sisters and my mom. We all scared. He telling us to get in the corner. He finna kill all us because we took his merchandise. I'm like, what the hell? What is he talking about? And I had no idea what in the world he was talking about. I just know I kept moving. Every time he moved, I was looking at that pistol so I can be ready to dip and duck and hide or whatever I need to do. And so eventually, luckily, my mom was able to talk him down, get him out the apartment, and help him find whatever he was trying to find before he ended up slipping up because he was not completely in his right mind. So I know when my mom returned, I said, well, Mom, well, what did you do? Did you call the police? What did you do? And she was like, well, come to find out, he ended up shooting a pregnant woman, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get life in prison. And so that's one story of, karma. And I know people can say, oh, well, that's bound to happen. Karma gonna come. Sometimes people can get away with some ugly, low down stuff. I mean, for years, Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay? For years, how many bodies he had to eat or had to take advantage of before he finally got caught. So it works in mysterious ways. It does. Fast forward, people that came at me, did inappropriate things to me, tried to take advantage of my innocence, trying to make me feel less than, because they knew that I was a broken little girl that needed guidance and did not have the love and the support that I was supposed to have. And a lot of people preyed on me because of that. It's like they were able to see it in my eyes. And I did have some, family members that tried me. And I do know one particular one. I don't know how many years he did in prison, but I know it was well over 10. And then he gets out and fuck up again and had to go right back and do some more time. So, and battling health issues. So, and it's sad. It's sad that is happening to, somebody that I really looked up to, I really cared about. But it's like you can't go around hurting people just because you're hurt. That's not fair. And, the universe is divine. They're going to balance it out. They're going to make it even. So what they say, so as above, so as below, so as above. That makes a lot of sense. That's just how it is. It's got to be equally balanced out. It ain't no, I'm going to give this person more favor and give this person a little break. And, no, it's got to be balanced out. You got to earn, you got to put in them good deeds. Well, I'll talk a little bit about some craziness that took place in my relationship. Okay. I get fed up because of the things that I've experienced, some unfair things that involve finance, that involve, people, I'll just say people, for the sake of not having somebody say, oh, you're trying to, defame my character or whatever. Okay, so, all right. So I get fed up and I say, you know what? I'm not trying to fight no more. I'm not trying to argue no more. I'm tired of feeling like I have to defend myself. It's sad if I have to feel like I need to sleep with a weapon. I'm tired. I'm done. I'll walk away. I give them the freedom to walk away. But as soon as I walk away from one relationship, somebody from the past trying to come back and say, hey, well, good. I'm about to leave my relationship too. So, hey, let's see what we're gonna do. Let's see what it's gonna do. And I knew that, my intuition was telling me, nah, don't go backwards. Don't go backwards. Leave it alone. If it didn't work in the first place, leave it alone. But nah, it didn't quite work that way. So the person tried to, show off and do they do. And, when he's making out and all this and that, and then it was almost like, something was like, and I'm like, whoa, 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 what's going on? And but I ain't gonna say no names, but I just know he done effed himself up to the point where he can't. It ain't working right. Mind you, I said, well, maybe this is karma because I left a toxic relationship and I'm running into, thinking my past can make it better. So that was my karma. It was like, I started things started hitting the fan, and then all of a sudden, his past started to get involved, and it just started to get ugly. So I said, oh, let me get away from that. Meanwhile, the person I tried to get away from, which is the toxic relationship, decide to want to kind of come around but not come around because I set up boundaries. I was like, look, you say you love me, but why in the hell you treat me like this? Why you treating me like I'm some trick or some type of I did so much. I risked my life. I sacrificed my body, my time, my years. So why you treat me like the way you treat me, especially over petty stuff? But because I started to stand strong and they could not deal with my changes, that was the thing. They wanted the good part of me, the lovey-dovey part of me, the lickety-lick and the trickety-trick part of me, but they didn't want the boundaries, okay? So they come back and they start, telling me, oh, well, I'm going to let you know I kind of decided to mess with this woman. And I was like, well, did you let the woman know that you were still married and this and that? And he's like, yeah, but I didn't think we was going to come back together. And I'm like, well, why you ain't still with her if you didn't think we was coming back together? Like, what sense you making? Like, I wasn't trying to go back because I already knew you need to go get help, and I wasn't trying to deal with no more headache. They come back, and out of all the years they put in on their job, out of all of the skills they have, I mean, some incredible skills. I mean, awesome building stuff. I mean, just amazing, beautiful work. He runs into a serious spine accident to the point where he had to be rushed to the hospital, and he almost was to the point where he was paralyzed. But here's the situation. He called me. What happened to the woman that you decided to go and test the waters with? Like, why call me to come back and cater to you and take care of you, but you want to play all these games? I want my family back. I want this. I want that. But at the same time, you still got your dick claimed by somebody else. Like, what sense? Okay, let me leave that alone. Karma played its role, I guess I'll say, for me and for him as well, because I'm always looking for love. I'm always trying to be straight up and straightforward. But I guess when you are with somebody throughout the years that have played mind games, that have cheated, that have done different low-down stuff to you, it makes it easy for you to already put up this guard to where I'm finna fuck you over before you fuck me over. And that's not the type of mindset I have, because I feel like, yeah, I was fucked over, but that's not fair to my new person. Yeah, my guards will be up. Like, I'm gonna have to check you out. Like, okay, are you trying to scam me? Are you trying to play games? You trying to use me? I'm gonna that's just natural. That's gonna come to mind, but I'm not gonna treat you low down exactly like the person unless you displaying those behavior patterns and mentality. So that's karma, I guess we'll say, for the both of us. I'm not afraid and ashamed to admit that I didn't do everything perfectly, but I know damn well I was in it 110, maybe 1,000%. I was in it because, I believe in just having longevity in a healthy relationship. Even though I wasn't presented with that, like back in my early years, I had to feel my way through. I had to learn life on my own. But I think that I did the best I could, to be a very young girl. Like, I was trying to lock myself down at the age of 17. Do you know 17-year-olds are clubbing? And do you know that they trying to figure out what college they're going to? They ain't trying to play no wife. So yeah, I was that type of woman. I was that type because I felt like if I settled down, I wouldn't have to. I can avoid all the BS. But I guess reality just hit me. You can settle down and be with somebody for so many years. That don't mean they ain't gonna do what the other dude's gonna do within a day or a week. So it's just a part of learning. It's a part of life. It hit hard, but I'm healing. It's just a part of life, and I'm trying to be strong for my girls because I know that there's plenty more out there that want to game around, and there's some good ones out there as well. Another karmic situation that I witnessed is when I had to separate from my spouse. And we had this beautiful dog, and I think I posted this on Facebook a couple of months ago. And the dog was given to me as a puppy, and it was to help heal what they call dogs that come in and they help you heal from hard times and grief and depression and stuff like that. And so yeah, the dog was with us starting at 3 weeks old in dog years, I guess. And when I moved into an area where they do accept dogs, but they didn't accept my kind of dog because I had a blue nose pit. And I'm like, well, my dog, he was trained. He's pretty decent, and I make sure I keep him in the cage. I had a dog cage and everything. And the owner was like, well, I want to see what kind of dog, what kind of training he had. I'm like, please, dog. Because see, my dog was the type that if he feels like you trying to come too close to me, oh no, you better watch out. He will snap you in the blink of an eye. So the owner came out to see the dog, but my neighbor decided to come up and walk up to the dog. Now, the owner didn't the dog did not react to the owner because, the dog just felt like, okay, well, she didn't feel threatened. But the neighbor started to walk up, and he put his hand in front of the dog's face, in the front of the muzzle, and then my dog was like, who the fuck you is? You think you gonna come up and walk up to me like I ain't gonna snap? And so I had to hurry to get my dog before he took his hand off. And then my owner said, well, I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable with your dog being in our neighborhood. Now, meanwhile, I got a darn greyhound dog across the street. I got some kind of bulldog, but it was orange and white on the other side. Then I had some very vicious chihuahuas a couple of houses up. So I'm like, ma'am, I don't have anyone to take my dog. And right now the shelter is full of pets. They're not accepting anymore because of some type of illness that was going around. I said, please, I'll lock him up in a room. He won't come out. He'll be supervised. And she was like, no, you got to get rid of your dog. And so eventually I had to go over to another city to get rid of him. But it really crushed us, because he was like a part of our family. But the thing is, let me see, that happened back in June. So I had to get rid of the dog in June. And so when November came around, now meanwhile, I still remained cordial. I didn't have an attitude with my neighbor. I still spoke to him. He's always felt, I can tell he felt some type of way, like felt guilty. So he tried to give me a bottle of wine. He kept trying to be nice. He tried to give me a watermelon. And, he would always speak and ask me, is everything okay with the place? And, I was like, yeah, we cool. Yeah. And so when November came around, this is when my dog was born, November 14th. I got news on my way going to work. Another neighbor came up to me by the mailbox and was like, "Did you hear what happened to, your neighbor, Pete?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't see anything happening to him. I didn't see no paramedics. I didn't see, he wasn't sick. He was, walking and smoking his cigarette like he normally do." He was like, "Well, unfortunately, he was rushed to the hospital and he died with unknown causes." I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, he died with unknown. Nobody know how he died. They ran blood tests, they did x-rays, they couldn't figure out how he just died all of a sudden." And I said to myself, that's really sad. And then on top of that, nobody came to his funeral. Nobody showed up. Nobody claimed none of his stuff. It went to the estate. So as sad as that is, I'm gonna tell you, I don't have no choice but to believe it. KaRmA had to be involved. I don't know. Hey, I mean, it's a lot of other craziness, other stories that I can go on and talk about. But like I said, this is how I see it. I know fear was instilled in me through, my family members that really had strong belief in the Bible. And the most I would hear is, "Oh, you committing sin, so you going to hell," or, "Oh, you did something, wrong," or, "Oh, a demon coming to get you." That's the stuff that was pretty much instilled in me when I was younger. And to me, I used to always say, okay, well, why the demon coming to get me but won't come and get the ones that's really committing the crime, the ones that's really out to be a menace to society and out to hurt and really be aggressive toward people? Why the demon? So I used to go to bed in fear all the time. Not that I was just a bad child. It's just I was just expecting some kind of demon with horns to come up and get me, because that's what was instilled in me. But I know this today, that your behavior, your attitude is what determines how your life will be, whether it's going to be hell on earth or possibly what you may face after earth. I was told there's no hell once you die. That's what I was told from people. I watch a few videos about people who had near-death experiences, and no one said they seen somebody sitting up there with demons and horns. So I think it's all about what's being programmed in your mind. And if you're constantly fixated on stuff like that, then most likely you may dream about it, or you may have some type of experience with it. I do believe in energy. I believe if you put out negative energy, it will come back to you. So that's why when you get to a certain age, don't argue with nobody. Don't try to fight anybody. Let KaRmA handle it, because it doesn't disappoint. And the crazy part about it is it's going to make sure or you see it in action. With that being said, y'all, I'm going to conclude here because I think I went way over than I expected. But I just want y'all to stay encouraged. Do the best you can with activating positive karma, do good deeds, but at the same time, don't let nobody take advantage of you. And learn from your mistakes. You are not your mistakes, okay? A lot of stuff been put in place for you to fail. That's just how it is in our society. It's nothing that's going to be made easy, but you can work around it once you tap into your inner power and have faith in yourself. I still believe in prayer. Yeah, if it helps you pray for your enemies, that's all well and good. But I'm going to tell you, for me, I pray for you. But if you come at me acting like you want to move something and harm something, of course I'm going to have to defend myself. So I'm not saying be stupid by no means at all. But other than that, people going to gossip. They talked about Jesus. He probably fixed plates of foods for everybody, and they still talked about him and complained about the food he fixed. So nobody's perfect. Hurt people, and that's so true to its core. People that gossip a lot, they have insecurities because they're not happy with something within themselves. So with that being said, I'm going to enjoy all my flaws and all my good sides too. And I'm going to continue to improve myself so I can invite and attract better people in my circle. So with that being said, y'all, take it easy. And remember, love yourself, and I love you too. Peace out. I begin to